Hey Scorpio, thanks for joining me for your November reading. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before, and if you're back, hi. So, happy birthday, November Scorpios, and even if you had your solar return, as it's known astrologically, in October, this still applies to you because it's Scorpio season, right? It's Scorpio time. Sun in Scorpio means the sun conjunct or goes right next to the sun where it was born, where it was born. Don't worry about it. Goes right back to where it was when you were born. And to be activated by the sun means that suddenly you start to shine. And also, Spirit was saying, as I kind of sat in meditation and drew in this channeled message, things also come to light. So it's a very powerful time. It's like your personal new year is a great way to think of it. Like, what do I want to be? What do I want to manifest? And in certain cases, what do I want to recognize and then get rid of? Where would I like to see myself November 2020? And then reverse engineer that shit. Okay, so happy birthday, Scorpio. Happy solar return. Really take advantage. This is a great time to focus on yourself, to focus on what's working and what you want to grow and what you kind of want to weed out of the ground and get rid of so that by, again, 2020, you're like, wow, look at all the amazing new things that came into my life and were able to grow because of the room that I made and how I fertilized like myself, how I grew my foundation. Like I made the earth very fertile for these things to happen. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get into it. Let's see what your message for November is and how that plays with what Spirit is saying about your solar return. Okay, fascinating. All will be revealed, Scorpio. Okay. I need two more. Give me a wow. Jeez. Okay, like, no, they looked up in half the deck, okay? Like, come on, Spirit. Okay. You are definitely moving in a new direction. And maybe after a little bit of waiting around and a little bit of a stalemate. So the fact that you're going to move at all is going to feel good. But what are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? Equality? Equality, justice, fair treatment. It is time to stop fighting losing battles, Scorpio. Time to let go. You know, it's sometimes letting go is less painful than holding on. And I kind of want to say that some of you have been holding on to a situation that is just like, no, I'm not going anywhere. That's what it feels like. So it's not dire. It's not the Tower. It's not even the 10 of Swords, but it is the 5 of Swords and the 2 of Swords. It is feeling like, is it worth it? Am I making progress? Like, am I moving? And TBH, Scorpio. And of course, these are general readings, Scorpio, so don't take this personally, especially if it doesn't resonate with you. But for a lot of you, I'm feeling like you are just like sick and tired of it and like, no, it's not moving. It is not changing because it feels like this person or this situation is going to take advantage of your labor, be it physical or emotional, like, or mental, for as long as possible. And it's going to take you basically standing up for yourself and drawing a line and saying, well, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to have. And then you get it. So that's the good news, is like, if you do that, you can have what you're looking for. But it does require you doing something that doesn't feel always comfortable, which is not being on the defensive. And I don't mean that with any judgment. Like, I have some Scorpio placements myself, FYI, so I can understand sometimes how we can get into 2 of Swords or 4 of Pentacles. If I hold on to this, if I stay here, maybe things will sort of change around me. And there are times when that's true. And there are times when it's like, nope, like Spirit said, this thing or this person is going to siphon off of you for as long as it can. So it's not going to be the one to say, I feel like I'm taking advantage of you, or like, are you still okay with this? Are you getting what you want out of this? They're not going to do that. The Page of Swords essentially is not going to do that. And so it's going to require you having to be a little bit of taking on the role of the Page of Swords, even though you're truly the King of Pentacles, but we'll get there in a second. You've got to decide if what you're getting out of this is worth it. And there's no judgment, meaning it doesn't matter what anybody else around you says, like about your job or your relationship status or whatever it is that you may feel like I'm not getting my worth out of this. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It only matters what you feel and what you think about it, okay? If you feel like you're getting something worthwhile, Godspeed. If you've reached a point where you feel fucking pissed off and dead tired and over the like kind of pettiness or fighting, if you're over the fighting, if you're over being over it, like that's what Spirit just said, if you're over being over it, then it's time to get out of it. Where you find yourself. Two of Swords clarified by the Fool. Time to let go. Time to take a leap of faith. This ain't been working. Sitting here and thinking about it, going back and forth in your head, that's not doing it. Making a move and releasing your baggage and being like, you know what, I don't need to carry this. I just need to make a change. I just need to go forward. I need to, in fact, change some things up about my life in general to make it more exciting for me and more fun. You have something really wonderful. This Ace of Wands is showing up as like what is within you, a spark, a wonderful idea, like a wonderful inspiration, a fire. You have a fire inside of you, but it needs your help to grow. It needs your help to become something more than just the spark, right? That's what the aces are. They're just the beginning. So this is cool. Spirit said it may be just the beginning and it may be just a spark, but it's like we can't start a fire without the spark. Now they're making me think of Dancing in the Dark. I don't know, for anybody old enough to actually know, can't start a fire without a spark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Oh, Scorpio. Okay. The spark is everything. And for a lot of you, the spark that you have is actually like also financially viable. So you might have a skill, you might have a talent, you might have a gift or an idea that is like, if I build a kiln around this motherfucker, I can bake something really cool. Like if I ground this, you know, the King of Pentacles provides a wonderful container. Earth contains, right? And if we put that one little spark inside of a candle and we use it to just kick off a wick, we have something that can actually sustain. So how can you sustain your spark? That's what Spirit is asking. You can sustain it by introducing some new adventures and horizons into your life. Even if it's literally, Scorpio, like I don't have a bunch of time and money to like get away and go see new things. If you have 24 hours, if you have 48 hours and all you do is take a bus or drive 45 minutes outside of your city and just go mess around in a new place, go walk around in some new fields or walk around a new city, see some new sights, you need an injection of new energy. Some of you I feel like are going on some kind of trip in the very near future, or you've been considering going on a trip or even moving. Again, I'm just going to say that it feels like leaning into what is new is beneficial. Making the changes that you've kind of been knowing that you wanted to make. That's kind of what Spirit is saying, and feeling free to make them. Life is also really conspiring to bring balance and flow into your life. Like, again, as opposed to any kind of stalemate, as opposed to conflict, it's trying to bring flow and balance. And there's times when it's important to like stand strong and be, emperor kind of thing, Scorpio. And then there's times when it's better to be supple and malleable and able to grow. This is that time for you. Yes, you need to stand up for what you want. Yes, you need to bring structure and bring a container to what it is that you want, but you also need to give yourself the room to figure out what it is that you want. And if it has changed from the past, that's okay. If your goals have changed, if your desires have changed, that's okay. You're not quitting on anything you don't want to quit on, okay? Like, don't quit on anything you don't want to quit on. If you still love it, if you still want to go for it, go for it. But if you're done and you just have a little bit of a hang up or a guilt or a fear around being done, but you're actually like, no, I think I'm done, try letting go and see what happens. There's nothing to say that once you stuff that manuscript into like, the mementos box, that you can't go a year and a half later when you're feeling inspired about it again and pick it up. But if it's not inspiring you right now and it's actually like siphoning your energy to be thinking about it, whatever it may be, let it go. If it is eternal, it cannot be stopped. And if it can be stopped, then it's not eternal. So don't worry. If it's yours, it will be yours. You'll know. There are seasons for things, Scorpio. Right now, it's the season of you. It's your solar return, but it's also, well, it's like a rebirth. It's a renewal. That's solar return energy, the spark. The Fool, starting fresh, starting anew, giving something a shot that you're just excited about, and taking a leap of faith. I'm going to bring up a quote. You may have heard me say it before because I love this quote and I love this Stoic philosopher, Epictetus. But he said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, i.e., who cares what anybody else around you is saying. There have been plenty. You're an intense person, Scorpio. I'm sure there have been times in your life when everybody around you has said, you're about to walk off a fucking cliff, dude. What are you doing? Like, are you stupid? What are you doing with this person or with this thing or this life decision? What are you thinking? And you were like, I'm doing what I think I need to do. And you walk right off. And then it's like in those old school cartoons where because you're not looking down, you're just walking. Everybody else is like, oh my God, is she walking on air right now? How is she like not falling off of that cliff? Well, bitch, there was a glass bridge and you couldn't see it because you don't have the faith and the courage that I do, but I see it and I'm going. Go. Go for it. Life is short, Scorpio. You know it. You're the sign of death and rebirth. You know that you're going to go through a lot of transformations in your life. Be gentle and kind to yourself. And be authentic above all to yourself. They're really highlighting solar return, this sun/crown that is hovering in the background. Go on this adventure and don't take a lot of baggage with you. When you end any situations, any Five of Swords situations in your life where you draw the line or you say no or whatever, be the fool and let go of the baggage too. I've said everything I need to say. I left it all out on the table. You know what I'm saying? Don't say something and then hold some of it inside and then, the conversation's over but you're still boiling. Leave it all on the table. Leave all the baggage behind. This new adventure is going to be demanding and satisfying. This month, as the King of Pentacles, you're meant to embrace your powers of building and your powers of tenacity. So the combination of tenacity but also temperance, alliteration, tenacity and temperance, like what a beautiful, like crucial combination. I'm willing to make changes where I need them, but where things are going great and I'm awesome, I remain tenacious and persistent. I'm growing something pretty goddamn amazing. I'm building my life the way that I need to create a container for this spark, which might look like I'm creating a morning routine where I always make time to write, or I always have time to do yoga, or whatever. What's your goal? And how do you reverse engineer that? And then go for it. And don't have any fucking, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Make a plan, execute it, and then here's the fucking doozy, right? It's being unattached to the outcome that brings in the best outcome. Because if it's like, I will be happy with myself if I hit this amount of money or whatever this year, but if it's below that, then I suck, or whatever, then we're attaching our whole identity to something that has a lot of factors, and they're not all related to how hard we work or how talented we are or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So don't be fucking hanging your hat on other people's hooks. That shit's gonna fall in the mud. Like, this is mine. I'm willing to accept the risks. I'm willing to accept the fear. I'm willing to accept just the same the rewards and the exhilaration. I'll take it all. I'm a Scorpio. I know that nothing is black and white. I know that it's all interwoven. No black and white. It's all interwoven. Don't hold tight to things that aren't working for you. Don't be afraid that if you let go of something that is giving you half of what you want, that you're not going to get something that gives you double. This is not the time to hang on to the past or to old outmoded ideas. This is the time to go for new things. If you hold on, you're going to find that the new opportunities and new feelings don't present themselves. And the Four of Pentacles is the kind of energy where you build such a tight container that you might put out this spark. Don't put out your spark. Don't try to keep things the same. If it's working, by all means, keep it. But if it's not working, and if it's outright in any way hurting you, don't be afraid to be this guy. And be like, you know what? I'd rather be this guy than this fucking petty motherfucker over here who's like, yeah, I'm going to pick up all your fucking unwanted swords. Nah, drop them. Drop them. Maybe you don't need swords. Maybe you need wands. Maybe you're fucking done with swords. Things are heating up. You're fighting for something, and some of you are fighting to make more money. King of Pentacles. I see it for you. And I see it for you when you're not afraid to move boldly in new directions. So if that means applying for new jobs, awesome. If that means thinking about moving to a place where the thing that you do is a lot more viable, awesome. If that means just making some changes in how you run your daily routine and then watching how feeding your good habits and starving the bad ones creates a new person and therefore creates new opportunities, bang on. Fucking Godspeed. King of Pentacles, you can build it. What do you want to build? What do you want to build? Don't, that's what Spirit is saying, don't hoard your gifts. You won't be the one to decide if they're good enough, or you shouldn't be. You need to put them out in the world. You need to show them off. Yes, there's going to be criticism. Yes, there's going to be people who say, I can't even believe you're trying to do that. That's such a dumb idea, or that's so bad, or blah, 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 blah. I'm going to quote RuPaul. And, well, she quotes her mother as saying, people talking shit since the beginning of time. If they ain't paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind. Go off, Scorpio. I think you're going to be paying your own bills a lot better in the very near future as a result of pitting your talents, throwing them out there, seeing what happens when you throw your hat in the ring. And yeah, you'll take a little dust. You'll whack your wand up against a few other people who might be trying to do the same thing or be in a similar field. Doesn't matter. It's about you. Don't worry about anything else and anybody else around you. The idea is just to have the courage to put yourself out there, to jump into this, whatever this is for you, whatever the fire is for you, whatever the adventure, whatever that spark, that Ace of Wands that is like glowing in the distance that you're like, if I could just, don't Do what you can today to grab it. Without buying anything, without learning anything, without whatever, with what you have. Use what you have, start where you are, do what you can, and you will have a brilliant outcome. That's what they're saying. I love it, Scorpio. Don't worry, it'll upgrade with you. That's the thing. As soon as you start utilizing your talents, your gifts, your opportunities, life, universe is like, oh, we respond to the type of energy that says, when you give me something, I will make something out of it. It's not about who deserves it and who doesn't. We know the world would look very different if the universe operated on the principle of like good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. It's not like that. It's, do I think I deserve it? Because you'll see a lot of people who might not seem like they deserve some great things that are surrounded by these amazing things because they're like, yeah, I deserve this. More, please. I deserve it. I deserve it. If you know who I'm doing a terrible impression of, like, let me know in the comments. I don't want to say the name because, ew, I don't even want to invoke it. All right. Anyway, Scorpio, I'm getting messy, so I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and I really hope that this is helpful for you. If anything resonated really hardcore and you want to get a bit more of a personal read, that info is linked below, and I would love to hear how this is manifesting for you, or if you have questions, comments, solutions for your fellow Scorpions. All right. Thanks for being here, Scorpio. I hope it's helpful, and if I didn't see you before then I hope I see you in your December reading. Bye, Scorpio.